Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am just another tinfoil hat. Welcome to my Friday night Screen Screams review, where I will discuss what spooky movie has captured my attention, spoiler free, of course. Now, tonight, we are returning to the found footage genre. It's been a while since I've done any found footage, and what I've found is that a lot of found footage is very divisive. It's almost like half the people either think, like, oh, it really worked, it was really spooky, or it didn't work for me at all, it was just kind of lame. And this film is no exception. The Houses October Built. Now, first of all, I have to commend them on possibly the most metal title for a horror film, The Houses October Built. I mean, it is so evocative. And two, because the movie follows five friends who are on this kind of road trip across the country to find the most extreme haunted houses, literally, the houses built in October for the Halloween season, The Houses October Built. I love that title. So for a second, first of all, the Houses October Built movie was released in 2014, not to be confused with the Houses October Built documentary released in 2011, which is literally just a documentary of effectively the same five people going to different haunted attractions in real life and interviewing scare actors and haunted attraction owners. It's literally just a documentary on the scare industry. So I guess that one is on Shudder, which, if you can believe it, and I can't believe I'm confessing this to the internet at large, I don't have a Shudder subscription. As a horror fan, I feel almost like a bad horror fan that I don't have Shudder. I may need to get it because I believe that's the only place where you can really find the Frogman movie that just came out, which I'm really excited about. If you've seen that, that's a whole different topic entirely. If you've seen The Frogman, please drop an opinion in the comments below because I want to know if it's worth the watch, if it's worth getting Shudder. Even though, let's be real, I would probably watch Shudder all the time. We're getting way off topic here. Apparently, they filmed this documentary, and when it didn't do super great on the release, they decided to reuse a lot of the footage in the movie version of The Houses October Built. So a lot of the footage you see of different haunted attractions, interviews with scare actors, that's all documentary stuff. That's stuff from real scare actors and real haunted attractions, which I think is a great element in the movie. So the film starts rolling with clips of a kind of retro, very innocent haunted house ad. And then it starts having interviews with modern scare actors. A lot of them are people who just say, hey, I love Halloween. This is a lot of fun. I love making a good scare. Then it starts talking to others who claim that they've heard rumors that actual murderers are hired in haunted attractions. Then there's a haunted attraction owner who claims that some of the human body parts in his attraction are real human remains. And then the news clips start rolling. The news clips tell how, in one haunted attraction, the attraction goers had actually walked past a scare actor who unfortunately had perished in a freak accident. Another one tells of a registered sex offender who worked at a haunted house. Still another one tells of a scare actor who slaughtered his whole family. And this does a really good job of setting up this dark undercurrent to this otherwise sort of fun, frightening industry. Then it rolls and it says that the following footage was captured by five friends as they went on this extreme haunt road trip. It cuts and says that the rest of the footage was allegedly filmed by the Blue Skeleton Crew, an underground haunt in an undisclosed location. Cue footage of a woman bound and obviously in a lot of distress being thrown in the back of somebody's trunk. And you'd be right if you assumed that those five friends didn't exactly have the road trip that they were expecting. Taking a cue from the Blair Witch Project, probably the best found footage anything in any genre, even though I will admit Gonjiam Haunted Asylum was pretty close. Pretty darn close. But taking a cue from the Blair Witch Project, we have Brandy, played by Brandy Schaefer, Zach by Zach Andrews, Bobby by Bobby Rowe, Mikey by Mikey Rowe, and Jeff by Jeff Larson. Now, it's a small touch, but as a reader of credits and searcher of trivia, I really appreciated that because it adds that touch of authenticity. And knowing too that this crew actually did intend to film a documentary before turning that documentary into a movie, it's cool to me. They set off in an RV. I mean, this is literally part road trip movie. It's kind of crazy. Looking for the scariest haunted locations, planning on making a documentary about the scare industry. But in particular, Zach, Brandy's boyfriend, is looking for the Blue Skeleton, this underground haunt that apparently uses real torture and is in a different location every year, which is undisclosed. So as the five bounce from haunt to haunt, Wherever they go, they elicit the ire of the haunt staff by recording and just being disruptive. But then they move to the next place. I mean, there's no possible repercussions from that, right? As you probably guessed, you'd be wrong. As they park their RV for the night, they see this creepy porcelain doll girl from apparently a haunt about 100 miles previous. Now, of course, they realize there's no way that it's the same girl. It's probably just a different scare actor from a local haunt who happens to have the same outfit and mask. I mean, that does make sense. Thinking that she must be in trouble, they go outside and she follows them back into the RV without saying a word. Shortly thereafter, though, she just starts screaming and abruptly leaves the RV. I mean, this scene was just very eerie for me because a lot of horror is just kind of about usurping expectations. And with this, you expect that someone will say something. You expect that someone will be normal. And so, true, even though this person was in this creepy getup, this creepy porcelain doll looking mask, you still anticipate that there's a reason that is logical and rational to you, that they are there and they probably need help. And so then you welcome this person into your space and they just start like screaming and making weird gurgling noises. It was just eerie. Again, it was just tipping those expectations upside down. Even though this whole movie is about being scared, you still expect that outside of the parameters that you have set up, the scare experience, things will continue to move in a rational way. But this is really where they don't. This is where it becomes very unhinged. A little bit after this, they park the RV in a different spot. A scary bunny man with an axe appears in the woods around their RV. After a short foray into a zombie night at a local strip club, Zach finds out that, hey, he has found someone affiliated with the Blue Skeleton. He finds out that it's in Louisiana this year, and they give him a contact at a local bar that he can go to and find out exactly how to get in to the scariest haunt around. Then the videos start. A scare actor breaks into the RV, films the gang as they sleep, and uploads it onto a haunted house forum. Zach finds this but tells Bobby, the other guy who saw it, to keep it a secret. He's so close to finding the Blue Skeleton haunt, and he doesn't want the others to back out. Then, magically, a cow heart appears in their fridge. Yet again, that should be that, but guess what? It isn't, because this is a horror movie. Things escalate further, of course, when they go to this bar and ask for the contact, Mr. Giggles. This scene, if I'm being completely honest, felt like a scarier, more threatening version of when Pee Wee Herman ends up at the biker's bar in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and the only reason that he's spared is because he can dance tequila. It felt as threatening as that. They were obviously outsiders in this bar that is full of people in different types of scare costumes. Brandy makes the terrible decision to go to the bathroom in this bar and is harassed by two scare actors who take the camera and film themselves cornering her in the stall. Although she escapes, this moment is just one more reason why they really should have just turned the heck back around and started editing their documentary. But of course, they don't. That night, back in the not so safety of the RV, they find that they are literally surrounded by scare actors, and then the lights go out. When the lights finally come back on, all of the actors have vanished, and the next morning, like magic, they find instructions for how to get to the Blue Skeleton. I'll admit it, I loved this movie. The pacing is what a lot of people have a problem with, and if I'm going to be honest, it is this really weird triangle between documentary, road trip home video that you hope no one ever sees, and horror movie, but I like it. It's weird. I mean, it works for me. Oddly enough, though, my favorite parts are when they're just recording the attractions or when they're interviewing scare actors or those that have gone through the attractions. It really makes me want to watch that strict documentary from 2011. I'll admit, too, okay, this is kind of a topic because I am a sucker for the horror movie trope of turn back now, you freaking idiots. I don't like when characters make stupid decisions. But when they make stupid decisions because they're pursuing something, for some weird reason, I can get behind that. It's like watching Captain Ahab. I mean, the level of hubris to go on with this quest after you've had your space invaded, you've been filmed in your sleep, you've had a heart show up in your fridge, one of your party is cornered in a bathroom. Like, really, you have a million reasons to turn back and stay safe and not pursue the Blue Skeleton, but it's this compulsion that just drives Zach forward to accomplish this goal. And I have to admit, I love it. However, my favorite thing about this film is something that in so many ways the characters discuss and confront throughout the movie. how they want the haunt experience at some level to be real. It's this need for stimulation that this whole movie is about, the human desire to control our fear, but not that much. And again, this goes to the footage captured of actual haunt goers. I love that they captured the response of people in this, fake frightening situation. Even the desire that Zack has to find the blue skeleton, a place renowned for literal torture, it really embodies this concept of the dulling of sensation in an overly stimulated world. And I really enjoyed that commentary on it as it pertains to fear, horror, the scare industry, however you want to take that. Now, on a personal note, this past Halloween season was the first time that I went to a haunted attraction. I've been to plenty of haunted locations, but haunted attractions, this was a first time. Shout out to the Dark Side Haunted Adventure in Ixonia, you were awesome. And that's the thing. People always ask me, "Do you scare easily?" Because I'm in the paranormal field. I'm like, paranormal stuff, nah, it doesn't scare me. I'm just more interested in dark, macabre topics. Nah, I'm fine with those too. But do I startle? Yes, I startle. I very much startle. And let me tell you, this haunted attraction was a startle factory. And I'll be totally honest, while at that attraction, in the dark, with all the scare actors around, there was one movie that I kept returning to, and that was The Houses October Built. That played on my mind so much while I was there because it pointed out that the scariest thing about any haunted attraction is that behind every zombie, behind every possessed scarecrow or werewolf or creepy clown, every mask is a person. And you just really have to trust that Leatherface isn't actually Leatherface. Well, if you've seen this movie, please give your opinion in the comments. And also let me know, what are your thoughts on haunted attractions? Do you get good vibes, bad vibes? Have you enjoyed them? Freak you out too much? Like I said, I've only been to one. I absolutely adored it. I spent most of the time screaming. It was terrifying and startling and wonderful. But I love Halloween, so of course. Anyway, if you've seen the movie, let me know how you think about it. If you haven't seen the movie and want to watch something that's honestly equal parts fun, equal parts frightening, and if I'm being totally honest, maybe a little bit awkward, give it a watch. If you want part 2 of this review where I discuss spoilers to the end of the movie, please go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon, and you can check out part 2 there. If you enjoy listening to people talk about horror movies and around spoilers, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and be sure to ring that bell to keep up with new videos. For today, I am Zelia Edgar, signing off.
Do